The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night. You are tuned in to Armed Radio, and this is Two Beards Talking. I am Daniel Sanders.
And I'm DonnieJ.
And as we always do at the start of every show here, we want to give a big shout out to the troops, the men and women serving overseas and on the home front. We appreciate everything y'all are doing for us. Keep up the good work. Come home safe. We're all rooting for you here back home. Rolling right into it. Very, very sad news from over the weekend. Two Special Forces, Army Special Forces, Green Berets, sadly were killed in Afghanistan, and they were identified Sunday by the Pentagon as Sergeant First Class Javier Gutierrez and Sergeant First Class Antonio Rodriguez. Both of them were with the 3rd Battalion's 7th Special Forces Group, airborne out of Eglin Air Force Base in Florida. Would also like to point out that both soldiers were posthumously promoted and awarded the Bronze Star, I think it was.
Bronze Star?
Yeah. According to everything that I've read about what happened, I think initial reports came out that it was just they were engaged in I don't want to say engaged in a firefight because that's not how.
No, they were. It was engaged. It was a firefight.
Well, according to a report that's been released from the Pentagon now, it was actually an allied Afghan soldier that, according to the report, he wasn't attached with the unit that was doing the patrol and everything,
right.
But
it was an individual who was in an Afghan
yes.
uniform, opened fire on the U.S. and Afghan forces with a machine gun. Well, that's a firefight.
Well, yeah, and I've got I have it pulled up right here on Fox.
Well, they say that it's not clear whether it's deliberate enemy attack by way of infiltration or an accident of some kind, but, I mean, 2 soldiers died, so that's...
Yeah. The report that I read, I've got it pulled up right here. It says an Afghan Defense Ministry official who was not identified because he was not authorized to speak with the media told the Associated Press the shooter was an Afghan soldier who had argued with the U.S. forces before opening fire. He was not a Taliban infiltrator, the official said.
Well, they were also, besides from getting a Purple Heart, obviously, and the Bronze Star, they were also posthumously promoted from the rank of staff sergeant. Yeah. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of First Sergeant Gutierrez and First Sergeant Rodriguez. According to everything I've read about them, both of them were exemplary.
Yes, like recruiting poster soldiers. So again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families of those fallen soldiers. And yeah, it's just it's sad that we've been over there 20 years, roughly,
right?
Better part of 2 decades, and I think I read one article earlier today that said, we lost X number of soldiers in Afghanistan last year. And of those, like, I want to say we lost 22 soldiers last year in Afghanistan, and it didn't say an exact number, but it said a good portion were allied Afghan forces.
Right.
Like, not even fighting against ISIS or the Taliban. It was uniformed soldiers, allies, doing this.
Well, and another thing that should be pointed out here, Rodriguez, one of the deceased, he got his Ranger tab and he deployed a total of 10 times to Afghanistan.
Jesus.
And this is not a guy who just went in and did his tour and came back home. 10 times.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were dedicated and devoted, and their death is a tragedy.
It is absolutely. God, I can't even wrap my head around that number. I mean, like, in the time that I was in, I only deployed twice. Now, granted, the Army and the Marine Corps, they operate differently as far as their deployment schedules and everything go. But, God, 10 times. And I think I read both of them enlisted in 2009.
This is terrible. This duty is terrible. I hate it. I want to volunteer another 9 times. I mean, that's just that goes above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I read both of them, like I said, enlisted in 2009. So from 2009 to 2020, that means in 10 years, he was deployed at least once a year.
At least once a year. But then that's the mettle of our special forces. They are.
Yes.
That's why they're special forces. They're special. They're specially trained. They're phenomenal. They're devoted to the cause, and they go above and beyond the Call of Duty as these two did. And like I said, their loss is a tragedy for this country, and of course for their families as well.
Absolutely. So, yes, we will definitely be keeping their families in our thoughts and prayers here. And another sad event that we need to discuss. It's always Florida Man.
No, this is sad. Florida Man, really?
Okay. It's always Florida Man.
Why is it always a guy from Florida? What the hell are they putting in the water down there? I mean, what is it?
I don't know. Maybe the gators are shitting in the water.
Is there something special in the weed they're smoking, or what's going on down there?
So this guy drove his van through a GOP voter registration tent in Jacksonville, Florida. Like that's. I don't think anybody was injured. I don't think anybody was inside the tent. I'm still reading up on this as information is coming in. But I'm on NBC News right now. The man, Gregory William Lowell Tim, 27, faces 2 counts of aggravated assault on a person 65 or older, 1 count of criminal mischief, and 1 count of driving on a suspended license.
They got him for driving on a suspended license. Not that you drove through a barricade and into some people, but you have a suspended license as well.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where
we're just going to throw everything at you that we can find.
Yeah.
Well, I want to point something out. This thing is getting out of hand. It's getting to a fever pitch because you've got Trump supporters who are gunning down Mexican Americans and people of color because they think that Trump told them to do so. You've got Democrats who are running through GOP roadblocks and into voting centers because they hate the GOP. It's like, folks, can we fucking get along? I mean, can we agree to disagree?
Right.
I don't get this. You and I have differing opinions on politics, and I have Thomas Jefferson said it best. I will never consider a difference in politics, philosophy, or religion as cause for withdrawing from a friend. Well, apparently these people have never read Thomas Jefferson because they just don't give a shit.
I don't think these people would even be able to tell you who the hell Thomas Jefferson is.
Well, there's that, I suppose. But, I mean, really and truly, it's just like we've lost the ability in this country to engage in civil discourse. We've lost the ability to agree to disagree. We can't talk about something and say, well, I disagree, and here's why. Because, I mean, it goes back to if you can't defend your position, if you can't defend why you're a Democrat, why you're a Republican, why you're an independent, why you're a libertarian, why you're whatever, if you cannot defend your position, then the old saying, it's better to be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt, should apply.
Yes.
Just shut the hell up. Because you're going to embarrass yourself, number one. You're going to infuriate somebody else, number two. And number three, nothing's going to come of either one of those first two things.
Yes. So this event actually happened Saturday, and it says the Republican Party of Duval County said it had set up the voter drive.
Duval County?
Yeah, Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Had set up the voter drive Saturday at a shopping center in Sandalwood, a neighborhood of Jacksonville. At 2:45 p.m., the group tweeted, "A van accelerated into a crowd of volunteers, intentionally targeting them. Nobody was injured. The driver sped away after making obscene gestures, the group said.
So you flipped everybody off and got the hell out of Dodge. All righty, Florida man.
Oh, man. Yeah. And, it's like anytime, and I love the way they started out the headline on this, too. Florida man.
Mm-hmm.
Florida man arrested. It's like the meme that I always see that, it shows a news article for any other state other than Florida, Alabama man, for example. Mm-hmm. Alabama man does this. And then at the bottom, it shows Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and it says, Florida man, are you challenging me?
On a lighter note, the worst holiday of the year for most men, one that every man views with loathing and fear and trepidation, is looming large. It's
their wedding anniversary?
Well, no, I guess maybe the second one. This coming Friday, the 14th of February, is Valentine's Day. A day which is loathed by men everywhere. It's a Hallmark holiday created by, pretty much ostensibly a greeting card company. And my take on this is if you have to have a special day of the year to tell the person you love that you love them, well, you got problems that a holiday can't solve.
Yes.
But that said, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on, and we'll deal with it here later on in the program. But one of the things that is really cool is Burger King is letting you trade a photo of your ex for a free burger on Valentine's Day.
No.
Yes.
No.
The last thing you probably want to think about is your ex. Well, just this once, you're probably going to want to dig up your old memory box because Burger King is letting you trade those, I guess, not so romantic memories for a Whopper.
Wow.
I have a lot of exes I'd like to trade for. I could have Whoppers for the next damn month or two. But anyway, select Burger King locations only in New York City, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Dallas are letting you do this. And what you do is you take a picture and you stuff it inside one of their special boxes, and you get a free Whopper. Finally, your ex is good for something. I'm leaving that out there for you. Go for it. You have as many exes as I do, so.
Hell, I may have more. Who knows? No, I don't even really know what to think about. Like, what is Burger King thinking with that?
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I mean, we're going to get into it later on in the program. There's other Valentine's Day things that's going on. There's some statistics out there which are really wild. How much money is going to be spent on flour, on candy, and on flowers, candy, and just on jewelry for Valentine's Day.
See,
billions of dollars are spent in this country on Valentine's Day.
The thing about it is, I first and foremost, I'm not the cards and candy kind of guy. I think it's all complete bullshit. And
no, what you are, you're drunk and we're at Waffle House and you've already eaten, so I don't have to buy you alcohol or food. What are you doing? Let's go home. You're that kind of guy.
No, it's like, and it's even for other holidays too. Christmas, birthdays. Like when my birthday rolls around, I tell people, don't bother getting me a card unless you're going to put money in it. And even then, still don't bother getting me a card because all it's going to do is be recycled right into a junk drawer that I have somewhere that's probably full of nothing but birthday and Valentine's and Christmas cards from the last 10 years. Like, I don't really see the purpose behind, like, I do buy cards and stuff like that, but it's more of a just at random times, like, hey, I'm thinking about you kind of thing. I don't do it on holidays, and for one, I think they jack the prices up around holidays.
Well, of course they do. That's like businesses that have a sale. Okay, we're having a sale, 50% off. Well, they jack the prices up 70%, and so or 80%. So then 50% off, they're still making a damn profit.
Oh yeah,
and it's the same way with Valentine's Day. It's you can buy roses any day of the year, and it's $45, $50 a dozen. On Valentine's Day, that shit goes up to $75, $80 a dozen.
Yeah,
and that's everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the way I am. I don't wait until a holiday rolls around to buy flowers and cards and gifts and shit like that, because to me, it's the one, for one, during those holidays, people kind of expect shit like that.
Right.
Like my ex-wife, for example, she would always, at Valentine's Day, what are you getting me for Valentine's Day? What are you getting me for Christmas? What are you getting me for my birthday? I'm going to get you a swift kick in the ass if you ask me again. Now, just on a whim, for example, it could be, I don't know, is there a holiday on June the 8th?
No.
Yeah. So, June the 8th, I'm on my way home. I stop by Walmart to get a gallon of milk. I see a bouquet of flowers. Yeah, why not? I'm going to get this bouquet of flowers and a card that says, hey, I'm thinking about you. That's the way I do things.
Well, here's a funny statistic. In 2020, men are expected to spend $3.6 billion more on Valentine's gifts than women. Men will spend an expected $11.4 billion on women compared to $7.8 billion for women. So, I mean, women are cheap. As I offend women who are listening to us everywhere. But no, really, men will spend almost two and a half times more on women than women will spend on men. Breaking that down, that's like $291 for every man, as opposed to $110 for every woman on each other for Valentine's Day. So,
bro, if I could just find a woman that would spend $110 on me just on a whim.
I was trying to, as I read the statistic, I was thinking, I'm trying to think of a woman that spent $110 on me on Valentine's Day. And I'm thinking that's probably been never, really and truly. And if I had all the money that I've spent on women on Valentine's Day, I'd be driving a fucking Porsche 911 right now,
right.
Whale tail, convertible, turbo, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. But it's ridiculous that one day of the year that Hallmark has decreed that we've got to spend a lot of money on the person that we love. When if you would spend a little bit of that money all along the year on the person you love, your relationship would probably be a hell of a lot better.
It probably would. And you know what? I'm gonna come right out and say this, and I don't care. Hate me, love me, I don't care. Hallmark can suck a dick and die. Okay, maybe not die. That's taken a little bit farther, but still, they can suck a dick.
It's a Hallmark holiday. That's exactly what it is. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's a created holiday. Yeah. I mean, it's not like Thanksgiving or Christmas or or anything. It's Valentine's Day. What the hell?
Take this one day of the year to make up for the other 364 days of the year that you were just a dick. Or a bitch, because it applies to women too.
Exactly. We're not gender specific here. We're not discriminating. But literally, like I said earlier, if you need a special holiday once a year to tell the person that you love them, you got problems that a holiday ain't gonna solve.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And come to think about it, I'm sitting here replaying it in my head over the years.
You're thinking, and that's scaring me right now already. So,
hey, just remember, I was never a second lieutenant. That's the most dangerous weapon in the world, right there. Is the mind of a second lieutenant.
This is true. You were enlisted, so you actually did think. So there you go.
So, but yeah, I'm thinking about it. I was married for almost 10 years, and in 10 years, I bought her jewelry.
I mean, you got 8 years on me.
I know. I bought her jewelry and chocolates and flowers and stuffed animals and all of this other shit. And out of all of, like, I'll use the jewelry for example. There's no telling how many thousands of dollars I've spent on jewelry for her.
Oh, let's not talk about jewelry.
And
I wish I had all the diamond rings I bought. I wish I had the engagement rings I bought that I didn't get back. There should be a law. If you're not going to get engaged and somebody gave you a ring, give the damn thing back. That's just my philosophy. I'm sorry. I'm ranting here.
Yeah. See, but out of all of the jewelry that I bought her, she always wore the exact same pair of earrings and the exact same necklace every day of the year. Didn't matter. Maybe we might get dressed up to go out to dinner or something like that, and she might put on one of the fancier set of earrings or the nicer necklace. But
they never wear what you buy them.
Yeah.
They ooh and ah over it, but they never wear it.
But she would always, I want more diamonds. Well, you know what they say about wanting in one hand and shitting in the other.
I want something too, and it ain't diamonds. But if I get that, maybe I'll give you some diamonds. I don't know.
There were actually times, and I have done this. I have done this with other people. I didn't do it with my ex-wife, but I did do it with other people. And I thought about it, taking a set of the earrings that I bought for her that she never wore, and turning around, rewrapping them, and regifting them to her.
Now we're talking about Valentine's Day. Now this kind of goes hand in hand with the next subject here. Can't believe we're bringing this up. We're doing things a little different this week. We're going to do politics here in a minute, but we're getting on the lighter subject before we delve into the darker world of how fucked up this country is. People are sharing hilarious ways that real life sex differs from porn. Yeah, I know. I see that look on your face. I'm like, yeah, okay.
I really wish our camera was working right now because I would love to have that look on Facebook because I just want to see the look.
Yeah, exactly. It's priceless. Trust me, folks. The look on Daniel's face was like, what the hell are you doing here? But no, seriously. On Reddit, one user recently asked, what happens in real life that you never see in porn? Now, think about that for a second. What happens in real life you never see in porn? Here we go. Apparently a lot of things. Within a day, this thread amassed over 11,000 comments on what goes on. They were excited to share how messy, awkward, and confusing in real life that sex truly is. The most common thing, what do you think it was?
There's no exchange of money at the end in porn.
Spoken like a true Marine. Or sailor. No, getting interrupted was one of the most common answers. The kids knocking on the door to tell you something stupid. Like, Mom, Dad, why are y'all clapping in there? Why are you clapping? What's going on? What's so funny? That's
no. And the thing of, okay, so as most people with common sense know, it's porn. It's filmed.
It's choreographed.
Edited,
There's a reason why they're called actresses.
Yes.
And actors.
Adult film stars. And I have I'm going to tell a little bit about myself right here.
Here we go.
I have actually watched some porn bloopers.
Oh, I've seen the bloopers. The bloopers are hilarious.
Yes.
The bloopers are what really goes on because they edited a lot of that stuff out. It's just like sounds and things, and we won't even get into that here. But one other thing that a person wrote that happens in real life that doesn't happen in porn is my girlfriend's dog trying his hardest to make this thing a threesome. And I can tell you firsthand from being in the middle, in mid-coitus, as they would say.
Please tell me you did not put peanut butter on your balls.
No. But I did have a dog jump on the bed and stick his cold, wet nose right up where it should not go. And I will tell you, there is nothing that will interrupt the feeling, the mood, and the act more than having a dog's cold, wet nose go right up your ass. It was, pets really love to break up fun sexual encounters. And that's what it says right here. An ex's dog stuck his wet nose between my butt cheeks. I gotta tell you, that is not fun. Cats being jealous, jumping on the bed, and wanting to jump into it. That's also not fun. And then there's hearing the doorbell ring. You never see that in porn. Two people are getting down. You never hear ding dong, Domino's.
Actually, no, I have.
Who the hell ordered a pizza?
I have seen that in porn. And the layout was...
Oh, no. Yeah, that's choreographed, though.
Still, it happened. It still happened. I don't know. The best one that I have that ever happened to me was... It was my first year of marriage. And one of the Marines that I worked with, he called me up right as we were in the middle of it. And it was the best thing in the world because this was still back at the time when ringtones were cool. And the ringtone on my phone was The Final Countdown.
Oh, my God. Only you, Daniel. Only
And yes,
you.
I did answer the phone.
Another one of the things that they said was pretty awkward was the doorbell ringing. It's like, what the hell? It's the third time that UPS has tried to deliver this package. Leave the damn thing on the front door, And one other thing is like the uncomfortable positions. If you ever watch, porn, it's all these exotic positions that, and from being a DJ in many genres, not just radio, but nightclub, mainstream nightclub, adult nightclub I've worked also. And I've met several adult film stars. And I asked a couple of them one time, and one of them in particular, Nina Hartley. She's she's a phenomenal actress, 80s actress. One of the smartest women in adult films, actually. She actually has a financial portfolio, several houses, lots of property. She invested her money. She did her stuff, and she still stars today.
Yeah.
But I asked her one time, just out of the blue when she was at a club, she was a fefeatured entertainer at a club that I worked at, and I said, so, is this stuff real, these positions? She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, all the reverse cowgirl and all this. She's like, hell no. I don't do that when I'm at home. I'm like, really? She's like, no. Who in the hell wants to do that? That's not fun. There's nothing great about it. She goes, that's all choreography. And I'm like, wow. Because I've always wondered why no one wanted to do reverse cowgirl with me. What's up with that? And it's like, that's all choreography. And that's one of the funniest things about this is that
I don't know. I actually I dated a chick one time, and that was one of her favorite things. Like that, like I didn't even have to ask her. Like she was like, "Lie down," and I said, "Okay."
Well, there are freaks out there, and and it's a wonderful thing when you find one of those. But
absolutely.
By and large, you don't, and you've got the vanilla, the vanilla women of the world, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Nina, who has been in many movies and all kinds of positions. But that was her take on it. Is like, that's bullshit. It's all in the movies. That's why they call us, as she said, that's why they call us actresses.
Yes. And another thing, the 50 Shades series, that, of course it goes into the world of BDSM and all of that other shit.
We're going down a rabbit trail here.
We really are. I mean, it's kind of related. But I was actually just having this discussion with somebody the other day, and I have come to the personal conclusion that the majority of people who either read the books or watched the films are like, they have fantasies about the lifestyle, but they're too chicken shit to actually try to live the lifestyle.
Well, yeah.
And I won't say I've been in a BDSM relationship, but I have been with somebody that wanted to try it. It's not for me personally, but it was fun while it was happening.
Give you that one. I'll give you that one. Another lighter news bit here. We always talk about Florida Man, because it seems like everything that's stupid that happens, stupid criminals, ridiculous crap, comes from Florida. Not always. Here's one from Connecticut.
Oh, God, they're challenging Florida Man.
They're challenging Florida Man. Well, this guy's not so much challenging Florida Man as he's kind of making his own place. A Connecticut gas station employee steals $17,000 on his very first day of work.
I've read about that. Yeah.
Gotta admire this guy's initiative. He stole more than $17,000 from his boss on his first day at work. This sticky-figured attendant made off with, get this, 89 boxes of cigarettes,
holy
lottery
shit,
tickets, and cash totaling $17,183 on his first solo day at work. The police, after arresting him, they're looking for him. They said the store owner does not know the new employee's name. He was only there one day. He filled out like a partial employment application. They hired him. The cops said, be careful who you hire. They released a surveillance photo of the bald, bearded suspect in hopes of identifying him, but no one has come forward yet.
And the thing about it, I saw the article, and I saw the guy's picture.
89 boxes of cigarettes. He's either going to be smoky as hell for the next few months, or he's selling these on the black market. I don't know.
I'm saying he's out on the street peddling them things. But I saw the guy's picture, and for one, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Middle Eastern fella. Not saying anything bad about it,
right?
Just pointing it out,
yeah.
And it was more than likely owned by a Middle Eastern fella. not again being racist. I'm just pointing out the fact that 90% of the hotels and gas stations in this country are owned by Middle Eastern people,
right?
And I can't help but wonder, when I worked in the hotel industry, for example, all of the hotel owners in the area, their last name was Patel.
Patel. I was about to say Patel. I can't believe you said that. I was just about to say Patel.
Well, and I found out the reason why. Little side note, I found out the reason why is Patel in whatever language it is. They speak,
Jones or Smith in English, or
well, no, it translates to caretaker.
Oh, okay.
So, and a lot of times,
like in Vietnamese, the name Nguyen, it was spelled Nguyen.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Nguyen is actually like John Smith. Over here. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of times, the name Patel is actually a taken name.
Oh.
They adopt that name because, again, like I said, it translates into the word caretaker. Wow. But
useless information.
Yeah, well, you never know what you're going to learn here at Two Beards Talking. But none of them were related. Like the Patel that owned the Super 8 over here was not related to the Patel that owned the Days Inn or the Patel that owned the Red Roof Inn or any of that stuff.
Right.
But they all knew one another, like, personally.
Right.
And
they act like they're best friends and known each other for years and years and years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can't help but wonder if maybe this was an instance of, I don't know you, but we come from the same background, and I'm going to give you an opportunity here. Well, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, might want to rethink that philosophy, that policy from here on out. I don't know.
That was a little bit of a rabbit trail.
Sorry,
we're just bouncing all over the place tonight.
I like the rabbit trail.
Yeah, the rabbit trail. You find more stuff.
I've been
on the
bashing.
trail.
Well, we got off on Valentine's Day. I've been bashing Valentine's Day for the past week or so on my radio show. So I just like bashing Valentine's Day because it's a suck ass holiday. It's
We know who's not getting a Valentine's Day present this year.
Shut up. I might get a present. You never can tell. I just might not tell you about it. Here's the thing. Kraft Mac and Cheese is hosting a giveaway so that, get this, parents can get naughty on Valentine's Day.
What the fuck?
Hey, Kraft Mac and Cheese is getting it. I like some mac and cheese.
I love some mac and cheese too, but damn.
Some mac and some hot mac and cheese on a bed with a shower curtain. I don't know, man. That could be fun.
I don't know, man. Any kind of cheese in the bedroom.
But anyway, they want the parents to get down on business on Valentine's Day, and they got an entire giveaway dedicated to helping them do just that thing. The most important step, what they're doing, is trying to distract the kids. And kids love mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. They love, like babies love mac and cheese.
They
love to wear it. They love to
cheese.
put it on over their head. They got to get the full flavor. You can't get the full flavor of mac and cheese or beefy mac unless you put it on your head or on your face or whatever. But anyway, the whole idea is what they want to do. It's called the Big Bowl Macaroni and Cheese. And it's a new thing they just come out with. It's basically like an extra large bowl of microwaved mac and cheese.
Sweet.
But, yeah, I love mac and cheese. The giveaway's called Kraft Mac is for Lovers.
Oh, my God.
Like I said, I envision mac and cheese and, I don't know, a shower curtain on the plastic shower curtain with oil on. Anyway.
Are there Bacos involved? I love Bacos with my mac and cheese.
Bacos would hurt. I don't know. I'm just thinking. But anyway, it's just an extra large Kraft and Easy Mac. It can be thrown in the microwave. But the point is that it's such an easy dinner option. The kids will be taken care of so that you can, get down to business. The website, when you go to the giveaway site, craftmacandcheese.com, it says the kids can get fed, get them to bed, and get it on.
Oh, God. Please tell me that
Go Kraft.
Please tell me that was a joke.
No, that is for real.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Go to Kraft Mac and Cheese website and find out for yourself.
Oh, my God. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, now, next time you eat mac and cheese, you're going to think about that.
Damn. Because I was planning on having some mac and cheese tonight with some Bacos, you asshole.
Yeah, not so much now.
And a quick public service announcement from myself here at Two Beards Talking. Just bear in mind.
Uh-oh. I'm getting scared now.
Just remember, that could be a very expensive Christmas if you don't take precautions this coming Valentine's Day.
Good point. Good point. Let's see.
Do you want to wear that?
November? Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Do you want to invest in that $5 box of rubbers, or do you want to take the chance and invest in thousands of dollars of? Invest in the mac and cheese, whatever you want to do, regardless. But I'm saying, do you want to
or chocolates or champagne or whatever? But yeah,
I'm just saying, is it better to spend $5 on a box of?
Wait a minute, how many kids do you have?
None that I know of.
Okay, and I have 4, so shut the hell up. Let's not even go there. Okay, just shut up.
I'm just saying, for those of them out there, the young, dumb, full of cum, PFCs, Lance Corporals, whatever you want to call it.
That fall in love with a girl named Diamond. I can't believe we must have the same time. Diamond from the local. I'm in love with her. She's going to marry me. Yes, she is. Dependopotamus. Okay. All righty there. Yeah, I've seen that before,
Yep. And, it's like it's like this Terminal Lance comic strip. I showed you that one.
Yeah.
And this one particular one, if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
But it shows this PFC, and he's talking with his senior salty Lance Corporal, and he pulls out like this $5,000 engagement ring that he bought. And he says, I know we've only known each other for 2 days, but would you make me the happiest PFC on earth and marry me so I can move out of the barracks and we can both get BH?
I love the one that you sent me about where the guy goes, "Wow, Doc, you look tired." He's like, "I was up all night." Well, that was stupid. Why would you do that? I was keeping you idiots from destroying yourselves. I stopped at least 3 Marines from swan diving off the 3rd deck into a kiddie pool, then spent the rest of the night keeping you guys from having your bleach drinking competition. And he says, "Hey, you're the one that signed up to keep Marines safe. I don't know what the hell you expected." My favorite meme though is a picture of the PFC with an M16 shoved up his ass, another guy with his finger on the trigger, and the corpsman standing in the background that says, "The hospital corpsman, keeping Marines from doing stupid shit since 1898.
And, the thing about it is, at least in my unit when I was there, I can't say for other units, but a lot of times the docs were involved in the shit that we were doing.
I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations.
As a matter of fact, we had the base was on lockdown.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We had a hurricane, so we had a hurricane party because we were on lockdown. Nobody on or off the base. And we had guys grabbing their whoobies, trying to paraglide off of the 3rd deck of the barracks in the middle of a hurricane.
Paraglide off the 3rd deck of the barracks.
Yes, they would take the bottom part and tie the strings to their ankles, and then they'd hold on to the other part. They'd jump off the 3rd deck of the barracks and then fan out like it's a fucking wingsuit and try to paraglide.
And there's a reason why. The only thing worse than that would be jumping like Wile E. Coyote jumping off with an umbrella to parachute down. There's a reason they call them Uncle Sam's misguided children. I'll just leave that out there. Let's jump into not really politics, but we're kind of heading that way right now. President Trump has done something that I agree with, and
Pete Rose,
yes, Pete Rose. He's gone to bat for him. He says it's time for Major League Baseball to put him in the Hall of Fame. Charlie Hustle played for 24 seasons from 63 to 86, and he had 4,256 hits, more than any other player by a wide margin. As President Trump said, he gambled, but only on his own team winning, and paid a decades-long price. Get Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame. It's time. Rarely do I say this, but I got to give props when props are due. Mr. President, I agree completely, wholeheartedly. Charlie Hustle.
Have that. You heard it here first on Two Beards Talking on Armed Radio. We have it on recording. Donnie Jones said he agrees with President Donald Trump.
I do. DonnieJ agrees with President Donald Trump on this issue because Charlie Hustle, his what he did off the field should not reflect what he did as a player or even as a coach, but as a player especially. This man was the epitome of giving 110%. He was the first person to do the head first dive. Everybody hook slided into the base until Charlie Hustle. And that son of a bitch dived head first. And when that didn't work, he knocked catchers on their ass when they caught the ball. He was phenomenal. And what he did was wrong, but I think he's paid the price. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Fame inductee. Cooperstown was his until Bart Giamatti, and banned him for life. And I think that's the worst thing that ever happened to him. He's paid the price. He's getting old, and it's time to make a wrong a right. We should judge him on what he did on the field. And he didn't use steroids. Okay? We've got people to go into the Hall of Fame that have used steroids. They got an asterisk by their name for performance-enhancing drugs. Pete Rose, give him an asterisk. He gambled on his own team. Big whoopty fucking shit. His phenomenal exploits on the field, on the diamond, should stand out and should override anything that he did.
I don't know if I've said it on the show with you before, but I'm sure I've talked about it before. I've never really been a big fan of baseball. And,
I love baseball.
A lot of the reason why is I went to a Braves-Marlins game in July in Atlanta, 1 o'clock first pitch, and it was 2 hours after the sun came out in full force right after it had been raining all morning. So Turner Field was a fucking sauna. And I don't know, I used to love watching it on TV because you get all the commentary, you get all the different camera angles at the baseball field.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah,
you got to love the game to go to an actual game. I mean, you got to, because it's all about getting a hot dog, getting a beer, getting another beer, maybe getting another hot dog, then getting 3 or 4 more beers,
and then throwing a beer at the outfielder because he missed the catch,
or the ump because he made a stupid call.
Yeah,
and, it's all about the experience. You go to a Major League Baseball game to soak the experience. If you want to watch the game, stay home and watch it. It's like a rock concert, okay? What used to kill me is that people would go to see Van Halen, and this happened to me in 1984. The Diver Down Tour, one of the greatest tours ever. And Eddie put on a phenomenal show because Eddie was awesome playing the guitar. Diamond Dave, phenomenal showman. And it was a great show to watch. But I heard people leaving the stadium saying things like, well, it didn't sound like they do on the album. Well, of course they don't, because the album is studio. You can retake it, do it over and over. You got all kinds of effects you can add, and that's why it's a studio album. You go to a concert to see them play and to watch the performance. If you want to enjoy the album, go home, put your headphones on, plug it in, and sit back and listen to it, and you can hear it in stereo and in the perfection that it was made in the studio.
Yes.
Same thing with Major League Baseball. If you really want to watch the game and see the, see if whether or not it was actually a strike, or whether it was a ball, or whether it was high and inside or low and outside or whatever, do that at home, because they've got all the cameras and all the angles. You're not going to get that at the stadium. Yeah, but but at home you're not going to get a foot-long hot dog a stadium brought and a 20-ounce beer.
Yeah.
For $50, but
and we had phenomenal seats. We were lower level, first baseline. Dad was a manager at a grocery store, and his Coca-Cola vendor gave him tickets to the game.
Ah, awesome!
Yeah, and this was the Braves' first year in Turner Field. It was right after the Olympics in '96, so it was their first season playing at Turner Field. And the best part of the game was we were just feet away from the Braves' dugout. And Dad took me over there, or bullpen, I'm sorry. And Dad took me over there, and Mark Wohlers and John Smoltz were in the bullpen warming up. And, I mean, they were just...
Smoltz from Lansing, Michigan.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
And, they were just... I mean, it was like they were everybody's next-door neighbor. They were playing catch with the catcher, and... just bullshitting with everybody standing around watching.
Yeah. They're just normal guys.
Yeah.
They just happen to have a phenomenally abnormal job. They
Yeah.
hurl. Smoltz is a normal guy except when he's hurling 98-mile-per-hour fastballs at batters. And striking them out 1, 2, 3. And that's the thing. You go to the game. Like I said, you go to the game to soak in the experience, the beer, the brats, the crowd. Go into extra innings and everybody's on their feet, and it's just a great experience. You get caught up with it and you love it.
Yeah.
If you really want to watch the game, stay your ass at home.
Yeah. Like I said, maybe now that I'm older and I can actually go to the stadium and buy a beer and a dog and all that, maybe it'd be different. But I was like 8, 9 years old when this happened, so can't really enjoy the game that way at 8, 9 years old.
All right, it's time to jump into politics.
Yay!
Yeah, I know your favorite part of the show.
Yay, politics!
Shut the hell up. We got to go there because there's been so much that's happened in the past week or so.
Yeah, we took the week off last week because we both had stuff going on. So yeah, we do definitely need to get caught up on it. I agree because a lot has happened since then.
Well, yeah. The biggest thing is the president was acquitted.
Of course.
And it's like surprising absolutely no one.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it was a foregone conclusion. I will give props out to Senator Mitt Romney for voting his conscience. He knew that he was going to be a pariah when he did so, and I don't think he gives a shit. And he earned the respect of a lot of people. Now, I'm going to say this because, okay, I don't think he stands to. He's not going to lose. He doesn't. He had absolutely zero risk whatsoever of losing his seat in the Senate.
Right.
And because he's a much beloved senator. Okay. That's number one. Number two, there's no love lost between him or Donald Trump.
Right.
But that said, there were many, many Republican senators who do not agree with Trump, who disagree with him on many occasions, that still marched right in line, step in step with the GOP party line,
yeah,
and voted to acquit him. And they're coattail riders, and I'm anxious to see what will happen. And at this point in politics, I got to be honest here. A lot of people are saying, taking to social media, and 4 more years, and Trump's vision is 2020, and blah, 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 blah. You know what? Nothing is ever a given in American politics.
Right.
Because everybody just knew Hillary Clinton was going to win in 2016, and she didn't. Everybody knows now Donald Trump's going to win in 2020. And you know what? You might be wrong.
Well, I don't know. It'll obviously come down to who the Democratic nominee is.
That is very, very, very much at the heart of the matter here. Trump would be invincible, but for who is going to be running against him. Now, if you have a Bernie Sanders, I don't think
no.
I don't think Bernie has a chance. Elizabeth Warren, I don't think she has a chance either.
Not Pocahontas.
Now, a Mike Bloomberg.
No.
He's got the war chest. See, that's the thing. He's got the money. He's got the money to fight. He's got the money for ads. He's got the money to fight Trump.
Of all of the Democratic runners right now, I would say Mike Bloomberg has the best shot at getting the nomination. Mm-hmm. But
whether he will get it or not is a different story.
I think it would come down between Bloomberg and Bernie.
Well, and here's the thing: as a now registered independent, I'm not keen on Bernie, because as I've said on this program before, it's like to find Bernie Sanders, you have to go straight towards Vladimir Lenin and then take a left towards Karl Marx.
Yes,
and that's where you find Bernie Sanders, and that disturbs me greatly. Elizabeth Warren, she's not quite that straightforward of direction, but she's kind of pretty close, and the other contenders on the Democratic stage, they ain't got a fucking chance. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. They have no chance whatsoever.
Again, I think it will come down to between Bloomberg and Sanders.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think in the end, it's going to be very close. But I believe with the money that he has, the war chest that he has, I mean, he can outlast Bernie Sanders. Bernie's supporters are very strong. They're very ardent. They're devoted.
But they're also very lazy.
Indeed. And Bloomberg supporters tend to be more business oriented. They tend to be more business people, wealthy people. Bloomberg has probably, not probably, he has billions more than Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has a large war chest, but if he only spent his own, I mean, he's not taking money from anyone. That's the thing. That's the one thing I like about Bloomberg. I've looked at his platform. And a lot of the things he advocates are good. He's not as far left as Warren, and definitely not as far left as Bernie.
But he is completely uneducated when it comes to guns.
There is that. But I mean, making guns a litmus test for a Democrat is like making abortion a litmus test for a Republican. I don't think that should be a litmus test. I don't think there should be one. I think you need to take the candidate as a whole, because Republicans only concerned about conservative, evangelical Christian Republicans are concerned about one thing. What's his stance on abortion? Now, he can be for anything else. It doesn't matter as long as he's against abortion, and they will vote for him.
Well, the reason why I disagree with you as far as comparing it guns to abortion and everything, we have a constitutional right that guarantees us the freedom to keep and bear arms.
Right.
There is not, to my knowledge, as far as the Bill of Rights is concerned, anything in the Constitution that reads, you have the right to kill an unborn child if you choose that you don't want it.
There is not. However, it is implied in your First Amendment right, your personal freedoms. In other words, this is what the Supreme Court has said in Roe v. Wade. Go read Roe v. Wade, and you'll see how they read that into it. It's an implied constitutional right. It's not spelled out as much as the Second Amendment is. Second Amendment is inviolable, in my opinion. I don't have a problem. Like I've said before on this program, I have no problem with everybody carrying a firearm. I really don't, because I believe people would be a lot nicer to one another. If you knew that the person in front of you, when you're driving down the freeway and you're in a traffic jam and this guy's not moving, if you knew that guy up there had a .45 and a license to carry, and you bumped him in the car, and you screamed at him, you cussed, would you cuss at him and scream at him? No, you probably wouldn't, because you don't know that guy might just get out and blow your brains out. Now, that's a terrible thing to think about, but on the other hand, you'd be a whole lot nicer. Mm-hmm. And that guy would probably be nicer to you. That said, the Second Amendment plainly guarantees Americans the right to keep and bear arms. And you're right, there is no constitutional amendment that says that you can have an abortion. However, there is freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and just your basic freedoms that prevent the state from infringing upon those rights and making you do something that you don't want to do.
Well, I actually have the wording of the First Amendment pulled up right here, and I'm going to have to go back and reread Roe v. Wade and see how they're tying it into the First Amendment, because I'm not seeing it here. And of course, the First Amendment reads, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Okay. In that First Amendment, do you see any right to be able to be a stripper? Is there a right to be a stripper, to take your clothes off in a club?
Well, no, but again,
that's freedom of expression. Expressing yourself. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Speech is expression.
Right.
By the same token, they read that as to say, okay, it's your basic freedoms. You're as Justice, I believe it was. I want to say, Brandeis, Justice Brandeis, Brandeis School of Law, University of Louisville. Justice Brandeis said, we all have the inherent right to be let alone. And the right to be let alone goes to the crux of that. A woman that does not want to have a child. I personally do not agree with abortion. However, I don't have a womb, okay? And I'm not going to carry a child for 9 months. I believe that issue it exists between a woman, her doctor, in whatever God she believes in.
Right.
And I don't think a white man has the right, or a black man, or any man has the right.
I was about to say now.
I don't think any man has the right to tell a woman what she can do with her body. Now, do I agree with abortion? No, I do not. But I don't think I've got the right to tell you that you can't do that. If you can deal with that, if that's on your conscience, if you can live with that, then okay, that's what you got to do. But personally, I don't think I've got the right to tell someone to do that.
Well, you see, and I agree to an extent. I also do not agree with abortion. However, I take the stance of if it is a medically justifiable reason.
Yes.
Attempting to give birth to the child puts the mother or the child in an inherently dangerous situation.
Or rape.
Incest. Yes. Instances like that, then I believe a woman has the right to make that decision.
Right.
But using it as a form of birth control.
No, I disagree with that totally.
I had this one night stand with this guy, and he got me pregnant, and I don't want to have the child. Well, you should have thought about that before you had your three wine coolers and went home with him.
3 wine coolers. You've been sleeping with. But anyway.
You want to meet her?
Not really. Back to we got on a rabbit trail again, as we so often do, and we're running out of time here, actually. A really great study was done, and I advise everybody to go read it. If you're on social media, you might want to check it out. It's called A Complete Psychological Analysis of Trump's Support, and it's actually a very academic look done by Bobby Azarian, PhD, and it's posted in actually Psychology Today. Which is kind of what to the psychological community is what the Journal of American Medicine is to the AMA and to the medical community, and the American Bar Association is to the legal profession. And it's a very academic look at things, and it's really awesome. It starts out with saying the most baffling thing about Trump's apparent political invincibility is just where it stems from. As he himself said, even before he won the election, he said, I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose voters. That's a quote. And it goes on to talk about, we're talking about a man who was caught on tape saying, quote, "When you're a star, they let you do it. You could do anything. Grab them by the pussy." Now, here's the thing. If Barack Obama or George W. Bush had said that, can you imagine how many voters he would have lost? Can you imagine the pandemonium that would have ensued? They would have never gotten elected. They would have gotten a nomination, let alone elected. But Donald Trump, he has a cult-like following. And this,
I'm going to disagree with you right there real quick about Barack Obama. And the reason why I say that, and, call me a racist if you want to, but I wholeheartedly believe his first election was solely based on his skin color.
Well, there is evidence that would substantiate that. However, there's also evidence he also had a lot of white voters as well, myself included.
I mean, I'm not saying anything against that. I'm just saying that, like you said, there is evidence to substantiate my claim that his first election was greatly and partly based on his skin color alone.
So what happened to the second time he was reelected?
I'm not saying anything about the second time. I'm saying the first time.
Right. But he did a good job the first 4 years. So they said, let's give him another 4. Or many people attribute it to the person running against him, which was Mitt Romney. But however, I don't agree with that. I mean, it was McCain the first time, Romney the second time, and neither one of them were. I thought McCain was actually a better candidate than Romney myself.
I'm going to have to cut you off right there. We're running out of time. I know. We will definitely pick up this discussion next week for sure. So be sure to tune in next week to listen to our thoughts about this, because I want to continue this conversation.
We will continue this next week.
Absolutely.
We're going to analyze the Trump supporters.
Yes. So do not forget to go on Facebook and look us up. That is Two Beards Talking on Facebook. Like us, follow us, interact with us. Tell us what you think about us. Like us, don't care. Again, big shout out to the troops overseas. We appreciate everything y'all
You guys
are
doing a great job.
Absolutely. Men and women overseas and on the home front. Keep up the good work. Come home safe. Everybody's rooting for you. This is Daniel Sanders.
I'm DonnieJ.
And this has been Two Beards Talking. Thanks for listening, everybody.